What's your favorite scary movie?
In the late 90s, you may have answered Scream. Released in 1996, the first Scream was unlike anything audiences had seen from the slasher subgenre. It was self-aware, infused with humor while still maintaining suspense and actual scares. The first film would be a success and a franchise would be created. Each subsequent movie would do its best to leave its mark, satirizing the most popular horror movies of their time, along with the ideas of sequels, trilogies, and remakes. Ultimately, though, not every sequel was well received. And after Scream 4 and the death of Wes Craven, creator and director for all of the Scream films, it seemed there was nothing left to say with this franchise. But just as the fourth Matrix recently released was so kind to point out, studios love reviving old franchises in hopes of an easy profit. With Kevin Williamson, who worked with Craven on all four previous films as writer and producer, returning to executive produce, Spyglass Media brought on board directors Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette. Having just done the well-received horror comedy Ready or Not, the duo seemed like a perfect fit to pick up the reins on the Scream franchise. Returning cast include Neve Campbell, David Arquette, and Courtney Cox, playing their iconic roles of Sidney Prescott, Gale Weathers, and Dewey Riley, alongside Mary Shelton returning as Judy Hicks from Scream 4, and a cast of newcomers which include Melissa Barrera as Sam Carpenter, the film's new lead girl, who has a personal connection to the original film. The fifth film, simply titled Scream, tackles the idea of quote-unquote requels, aka reboot sequels, films that wish to reboot the franchise, sometimes with a new cast, while still acting as a sequel to the original, often bringing in legacy characters to pass the torch to newcomers that represent the original cast. Much of the commentary surrounding these ideas are well done. In this way, Scream does live up to the legacy set by its predecessors, offering jabs at modern popular, elevated horror films such as Babadook. The movie also has plenty of Easter eggs pertaining to the original film and the horror franchise in general. You can see the same level of creativity and love of horror in the new Scream that was present in the original movie. In this way, the new Scream lives up to Wes Craven's legacy and honors the man who was a master in the genre. For this, the film is rightfully praised, but sadly, I do not share in critics' love of the modern Scream. While it does honor Craven's legacy and does a solid job as a commentary on current horror trends and requels, the movie falls short to me in story, character, depth, and emotion. Yes, Scream is a simple slasher franchise, but each subsequent film adds more layers to the characters and how their pasts catch up, connecting each film with the other. In this way, while not perfect, the original Scream trilogy does tell one conclusive story. Scream 4, already felt tacked on as is, made some sense as the film that tackled remakes. Now we get requels with new characters having deep connections to our classic legacy characters. And while sometimes clever, it just all feels done before. Every subsequent sequel focuses on the killers doing their best to recreate the original film, which is what sequels do. But Craven and Williamson always felt clever in the way they lambasted these ideas while connecting it to the characters' motives. Add on top of this Sidney Prescott's character development and personal demons over the course of the series, and the original three all feel like they at least have a solid reason for existing outside of just being satire of the genre. Scream 2022 doesn't sell me on being necessary in any way other than its satire of requels and modern tropes. Most of its new cast only exist for a body count, without much development. Outside of the clever Easter eggs and modern movie trend commentary, the film is not clever in the way it brings together the characters to mimic the originals, as we've seen similar ideas in Scream 2, 3, and 4. Even the legacy characters such as Dewey, Gale, and Sidney are not used to their full potential. Add on top of this that even the kills are not as suspenseful and lack even in the jump scare department that the originals did so well, and we have a well-made commentary on modern film without any substance to back it up. It's fun to watch once for the commentary, but without characters I care about to bring me back, once is all I need to see of it. It doesn't dishonor Wes Craven's legacy, but it also doesn't do anything new or exciting with it either. I give Scream 2 out of 4 stars.